Howdy, folks. How are you all today? And how is the sound? Silver says that they're here for the dark chocolate Milky Ways. Those things are bangers. I've never had the dark version before. I don't know if it's going to be on this tier list. I've not made this tier list. It's an existing tier list. I did not have time to make one. Evan asks how my day was. It's been alright. Just kind of bouncing between working on my Hellboy review and watching Squid Game. I don't know if anyone's been watching Squid Game. Listy says, I wish I had sweets. This list is going to make me want them. It will. G. Crowbad, I'm curious if I've tried any of British candy before. Hello, G. Crowbad. You might have done. My composer, Karansan, he's often said that he's come across British candy before, so it's possible. Kerr said, sounds good. Just got back from seeing Beauty and the Beast at the theatre. Ooh, that sounds good. I'm gonna start soon. Definitely will start soon. I think this needs. Does this need to go under there? Bear with me. I'm gonna move something. Nope. There. Thank you for following Squidnug. I think it says that. Squidnug, yes. Silver, can you describe the taste for these for your non-British fans over that? I've only heard of Cadbury, if you even spell it that way. Yeah, I will be spelling each one, because the string would be really short if I just said, I think this is A tier, I think this is B tier. I'll talk about my thoughts on each one, describe each one, and then if any of you have tried one of those candies before, you can chip in and say, hey, I think of this candy, and I think it should be in this tier. Sometimes you might even influence my choices. I'm very impressionable. Yeah, so I don't think there's too much to go through. Listing. Okay, hang on. That's a YouTuber subscribing. I don't know why OBS does this, but it forces me to notify people when someone subscribed to my YouTube. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Hang on, I'm trying to fix this. Where's new follower alert? I've lost it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I've got to switch off it notifying for YouTube stuff, because you don't need to know about that. Okay, where am I in chat? Listing. My American friend was sad when they stopped making crispy M&Ms over here, but we still had them. I think they're back now. Ooh. Evan, even though you didn't make this tier list, will it still be from your own opinion? Yes. No. When I say I didn't make this tier list, I mean I didn't set up everything for it. I didn't put all the pictures in. That's what I'm trying to say, is I didn't put the pictures in. It's an existing tier list. The choices are going to be mine. Okay, they're all personal, all completely mine. All I'm saying is that the candy that I'm choosing from, that was set up by someone else. This is a tier list that already exists online that anyone at all can interact with. I hope that better explains it. G. Crowbar, Kit Kat and Starburst are the only ones I tried. Ooh. I don't, is Kit Kat British? I can't remember now. I really can't remember. It's hard to tell half the time. Silver, wait, Twix and Starburst are British. I know Starburst are British, and Starbursts used to be called Opal Fruits. And I was alive when they made the big change. That makes me feel so old. He says it below, old man voice. Opal Fruits! And Marathon. I'm not that old. Right, let's just get going. Let's just get the ball rolling. Hang on, I think I pressed the wrong thing that I'm trying to get. Okay. Oh, whoa, come on. What are you playing at? I can't. What is this? What is this? Right, let's try that again. All I wanted was chat. Blimmin' heck. I can't move anything. Hang on, bear with me. This is really... How do I toggle? I'm trying to make sure that I still see chat and still see still see what I'm doing, and it's really bloody hard, so bear with me. I know how to do this. I want to toggle positioning mode. Okay. Let's put you there. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's all I had to do. So none of you have any idea what I'm talking about right now. Right, now I can see it. Right. Okay, so we're gonna go from here and all the way down to the bottom, because like there's quite a few to go through. I'm gonna see how it looks on stream. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to go lower. Okay, so what's this first one? What are they called now? I forgot what they're even called. Can anyone remember what these are? I can't even read the label on it. Because they're, well, no. They're not Smarties. They're not Smarties. We've got a different kind of Smarties over here. But this is a different one. I think they're called, like, Fizzers or something. There's, like, something Fizzers. Is there anyone British in chat that can help me out? But yeah, they're like Fizzies or Fizzers or something like that. And they're very tangy and very tiny. And they're very digestible because, like, they're very small. Yeah, Parma Violets they're kind of like Parma Violets, but they're fizzy. So yeah, for me, I prefer Parma Violets. I feel like Parma Violets are superior. So, it's just that they're a bit too tangy. They're a bit too tangy and a bit too sugary. So, but they're still really they're very Moorish as well. So I definitely would say they're A tier. Is anyone Fizzers? Yes, thank you, Silver. They're called Fizzers. Yes, they're kind of like what Americans Smarties are. We have Fizzers. But yeah, I like them. If you can you'd often get them in like a big bag of different kinds of candy from a company called Swiggles Matlow, I think. Litty says they gave me acid reflux. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why I prefer Parma Violets. You get much better experience from Parma Violets. But Fizzers, they're fine. It's just they can't compete with Parma Violets. So next is Yorkie, which has a very controversial history. But despite that, I like Yorkie. They're very bulky. It's hard to explain what they're like without showing a picture. But they're very bulky kind of chocolate bars. And they're separated out and they're just very big, very bulky, but they're in blocks. That's the word. They're in blocks. They're separated blocks that you can snap off. Okay, they're really nice. But there's nothing. Yeah, yes, the controversy behind Yorkies is absolutely terrible. For those of you who don't know, they used to have a tagline that was like, it's not for girls. It was so stupid. So I'd say that Sex History definitely takes it down a bit, but I can't deny that I like a good Yorkie sometimes. I like a good Yorkie. I'd say I'd put Yorkie on B tier. Has anyone got any opinions on Yorkies? But yeah, I had a Yorkie not too long ago, so I can't say I dislike them. It's just you feel a bit wrong eating them because of their history. Simpsuto, almost bars and Smarties is going to be confusing. It's all very confusing. Listy, I do feel manly when I break my jaw on them. Yeah, they are quite bulky. They're kind of like, I know this is probably a terrible comparison, but they're like a medium-sized, flatter, less triangular Toblerones. I'd say that's the best way to describe them. Yeah, so Yorkie used to have a slogan that was like, it's not for girls. And it caused a lot of controversy because of that. It was a stupid slogan, really terrible slogan, and it added this laddish tackiness to it. Luckily they've taken that slogan off now. That's gone, so I don't know why they've got this picture, because it's kind of out of date. They completely took that off. Howdy Don. Okay, so next we've got Kinder Surprise. Now, mixed feelings, because Kinder Chocolate is absolutely amazing. But the thing with Kinder Surprise is that the chocolate is it's very thin. and the filling is a toy in a plastic shell. which is why it got banned in America, because it was a potential choking hazard. But yeah, I really like Kinder chocolate eggs, but because they're so thin, and because like they're so small as well, and it's so tasty though, because Kinder chocolate's amazing. It just goes by really fast. And the thing is that the gimmick of the toy is more interesting than the egg. And I remember growing up as a kid, I was just like, get to the toy, I want to build the toy. It just gets overshadowed. The actual Kinder chocolate gets overshadowed by the gimmick of the toy. The toy was always really, really fun. And I love that aspect of it. But if you were to like rate it as a candy, it's a little... It's great that it's made of Kinder chocolate. It's just that I would prefer to have like a Kinder Maxi bar, especially if it was like a bunch of them, because then you just get more. You get more Kinder chocolate. It's a little underwhelming in terms of chocolate, but the toys are awesome. And like there was always like a different like theme of toys every like I don't know if it was every season or every month, but they would change the kinds of toys. So what are chat saying? Whoa! It's not even let me scroll up. Where am I in chat? Silver, I love Cadbury surprise eggs, but not the middle part. They're always crunchy and taste awful. They should replace the filling, just horrible. Yeah, I've never tried Cadbury ones. Yeah, Curse makes a really good point. I prefer Kinder bars. Yeah, that's the thing. You might as well just get a Kinder bar. You really should. You might as well. And like once you get older, the novelty of the toy kind of wears off. Because when you're a kid, the building process is it's a lot more intricate when you're a kid. It's a lot more complicated when you're a kid, and you can your parents sometimes. But once you get older, you're kind of like, oh, I got this toy. Okay, snap, done. More Eagle. Kinder eggs are nice. The Americans need them, but no. Listy, it was always excited to see the new range of toys in rotation. Yes, I totally agree. That's the thing. The toys are great. The toys are pretty cool. And the surprise of never knowing what toy you would get inside was pretty awesome as well. Silver says, don't worry, we got them too. They recently lifted the ban. Oh, great. They're just hard to find. Dang. Don, I personally don't like candy, but I'm interested what types of candies British people like. Something to do, is anyone old enough to remember baseball card gum? Not me. We had trading cards, but I don't remember gum coming with them. But yeah, I need to get to my point. Kinder Surprise, I'd give it a B as well. It's like, again, the toy overshadows the chocolate, and you can get better Kinder products out there. But it has a lot of nostalgia to it, and I get why kids love it. I totally get why kids love it. It's just that I've outgrown it at this point. So the next one is fruit pastels. Oh, dang, fruit pastels are frustrating, because fruit pastels, they taste great, but they get stuck to my teeth so easily. And like, I got to a point where even as a kid, I got to a point where I was like, I don't want fruit pastels anymore, because it's a chore. It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. So fruit pastels are like little gummies that are like covered in sugar. And they come in like a long packet. They are really tasty. It's just, I just don't like picking my teeth out, trying to get the fruit pastel bits out of my teeth. That's the only downside to it. I'm not even sure if it's suitable for vegetarians anymore as well. So the thing is, yeah, it tastes good. It's just disadvantaged by the fact that it gets stuck in my teeth a lot. So yeah, what does everyone else think of fruit pastels? I can't remember what Jolly Ranchers are like, Silver. I've tried them before and I can't remember. Listy, opening one of those was like opening a glitter bomb with sugar. That was another thing. It was sugar would go every. You know, yeah. I'm gonna put fruit pastels on C tier. It tastes good. It's just so frustrating as a product. There's just so many flaws to it, despite it being tasty. G Crowbat, I have similar feelings with Cheetos. Yeah, we have something similar called What's-Its. What's-Its are a bit too, bleh. Evan, so you don't find picking at food in teeth to be fun? No, I don't. I like to enjoy my food and move on. So yeah, fruit pastels. I've just got a love-hate relationship with fruit pastels. Okay, so drumsticks. Now, I don't know if these are vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian now, so I don't know how qualified I am to like give my opinion on it. Silver says Jolly Ranchers are basically crystallized taffy. I'd like to think it's clear like gems, but stick to your teeth like mad. Man, it's best suck on them than bite them. Yeah, I kind of did that with fruit pastels too. So So drumsticks. The drumsticks are like, oh, how do you explain drumsticks? So they're like lollipops, but like they're chewy. They're like chewy lollipops, and they have, I can't even describe their taste. But I think what the most appealing thing about drumsticks is their aesthetic. I'll admit their wrapping is awful, and like the wrapping is like, I think it's like rice paper or something, and like when you peel it off, it always gets stuck to the drumstick, which isn't bad because it's edible paper, but it was still a bit of a you're just peeling it off and then you shove it in your gob. But yeah, I remember the taste having very strange, but the aesthetic is interesting because the packaging is a bit old-fashioned, and then it's got like white and pink stripes on it. It's really strange. Listy Rimsey, I always enjoyed the stick more than the chew. Okay. I remember like when you finish the stick, you kind of like blow through it. Evan, are they sweet or chocolatey or vanilla? They're sweet. They're just it's basically sugar. It's basically sugar, pure sugar. The taste is like lime or raspberries. Yeah, it does have a bit of a fruity taste to it as well. But yeah, so I'd say the disadvantage to a drumstick would have to be the wrapping. And that's it. But I like the aesthetic. It's less of a faff compared to fruit pastels, so I'll put it higher than fruit pastels at least. Kurt says you have to suck on it so it can go soft. Yes, that's what I ended up doing. Like that's okay. That's another thing I didn't like was like drumsticks can be they come quite hard. You know what, I'm gonna put it to C. The peeling, the hardness. I remember now. Memories are flashing back now. Like the drumsticks were kind of annoying. Okay, so next one is a curly whirly. So curly whirlies, they're like toffee covered in chocolate, and they have like a really curly, weird kind of like shape to them. The main shtick is like how curly they are. Really, it's just a very curly kind of. It's just curly toffee. I like it fine, but I don't like how long they are. And I don't like the more you chew down on it, the more it kind of flops. And it's another one of those candies where the toffee, I think it's toffee. Is it toffee or caramel? I think it's toffee. The toffee's a little too hard as well. I've not had curly whirlies in ages because every time I look at them in a shop, I'm like, no, not in the mood. It's not one of those kind of it's a bit like fruit pastels and drumsticks where there's a bit of a chore to it. But I get toffee. I said toffee, Evan. So yeah, it's a bit of a chore to it, and I feel like when you appreciate curly whirlies more when you're a kid because they're kind of fun as a kid because they're so long and there's so much to go over and they've got a wacky shape to them. But once you get older, they're not really appealing for adults, I think. I don't know. I wish there was like a tier between B and C. That's where it feels like it belongs. I do like the package. The packaging is quite nice, and the packaging definitely gives you a good hold on the curly whirly, which is good because the curly whirly is very long. It's a B. I'm gonna go with a B. If you gave me the option of like fruit pastels, drumsticks, or curly whirly, I'd go for curly whirly. I really would. As flawed as it is. Can I spell so toffee? Toffee. It's like Toffee. Whoa! What you doing? I accidentally clicked an ad. So yeah, toffee. So Toffee. You're gonna have to look at what what the description of toffee is, but it's a very common thing in the UK. So the next thing is Time Out. This is going in S tier. Time Out is one of my favourite ever chocolates. I did not have to think about that. I love Time Outs. I don't know what it is. I think it's very flaky inside, but it's also got a biscuit to it. Yeah, I just really like Time Outs, and like I've appreciated them more as an adult, and they're really good with a coffee. Time Outs are great with a coffee. They're a great break snack. They're a great break snack, and sometimes you can get them in doubles or you can get in singles. But yeah, I maybe it's just because I'm getting older and I'm liking the more boring kinds of candies now. But like I'm like, Time Out's good, because the problem with a lot of other flaky kind of British chocolates is that it just gets everywhere. But I feel like Time Outs are a bit more compact, and they hold the flake in a bit better as well. So yeah, does anyone else have any opinions on Time Out? Am I the boring old man that likes them? I feel like I am. NW Zonde, Canada has something like that. Coffee crisp. Ooh, it sounds nice. Dawn, you have a sweet tooth, Jambareeqi. I have a salt tooth. I have a big sweet tooth. Evan, I really don't like candies with flakes and hard stuff inside. There's nothing hard about Time Out, but it is very flaky. It is quite flaky, but not to the point... Not flaky in the same sense as, like, twirls or actual flakes. I wonder if flakes are going to be on here. Okay, so I guess no one really has any opinions on Time Out. I'm the dull sod that's the only fan of Time Outs. Okay, so the next thing, I think that's shrimp candy, like foam candy. I don't know if I can eat them as a vegetarian anymore, but I remember them fine, but I preferred the banana foam candy. I preferred it a lot more. So like, it's hard to explain foam candy. It's very, very soft. It's quite soft, and there's a shrimp one and there's a banana one, and the shrimp ones kind of taste a bit like strawberry, and the banana ones taste like banana. But like, yeah, the shrimp ones aren't as good, and the thing about the banana foam ones is that you can suck on it a lot easier. With a shrimp one, you've got to put the whole thing in your mouth. It's less fun. Yeah, shrimp is just... the shrimp foam sweets are just overshadowed by how awesome the banana foam shrimps are. But, they definitely melt in your mouth, and I really like that, and they taste good. It's just not as good as... But I'm going to put it on A. I'm going to put it in A tier. I like it just fine. If I got like a 10p mix, and shrimp came with it, but like, yeah, sure, that'll be good. I'm cool with that. So yeah, anyone else got any thoughts on the shrimp foam sweets? I don't know if the banana ones are going to be on this. They better be. They're really good. So yeah, any thoughts on the foam shrimp before I move on to the next one? Yeah, I remember you get a bunch of those with usually in the very 10p mix kinds of sweets. Like the kind of sweets you just, if you're gonna pop down to the shop and you only had like like 10 or 20p, and you get like a 10p mix, and be like, yeah, sure, let's put some foam shrimp in there. Yeah, so I guess no one else got something to say about foam shrimp. Let's move to toffee crisp. I really like toffee crisp. I really do. So like, it's got toffee in it, which is kind of like a soft caramel, and it's very crunchy. I think the only downside to it is it's very bulky. It's very bulky, and if you're not in the mood for like a really big chocolate bar, then you're not going to be moved for toffee crisp. But they are really nice because the crunchiness, the chocolate, and the toffee all complement each other really, really well. You just get what the package says, really. Toffee and crisp. It's a crispy toffee thing. But yeah, I just wish it was a little smaller. I think you can get them in bite size, but I can't remember. I'd say it's A tier. I'd definitely say it's A tier. But yeah, toffee crisps are nice. I usually got them at like Christmas. Like, they're a very much a Christmassy kind of chocolate. You'd probably get in like a big box, like a collection box. Listy, you can get a bag of mini ones, but then you eat them all and realize that's technically more than one normal bar. Yeah, technically, yeah. But yeah, I do kind of wish toffee crisps were a little smaller. just a little. Now, this, what the hell? I've seen this before, but I don't think I ever had it. Can anyone chat remind me what this was called? Because I don't really remember. Sherbet. Oh yeah, sherbet fountain. Yeah. I don't remember ever having it. I just saw the pack. All I remember is it had weird packaging with like that black tip on top. It was really strange. So I'm gonna put not applicable because I don't remember having them. Honestly, don't remember having them. Oh, white sherbet with a licorice stick. That's why I didn't have them, because I hate licorice. Anything that's licorice is on here is going to go straight to F. I'm sorry, licorice is ghastly, and I don't get its appeal. It's disgusting. So yeah, screw whatever that is. I forgot what it was called. Does anyone remember what it was called? Anyone? It's not really had a lasting legacy of people that don't immediately remember what it's called. So yeah, next one is refreshers. Refreshers. Red licorice is fine. Red licorice is fine because it's just basically strawberry candy. But like licorice, like licorice that's like, I think it's aniseed flavor is just foul. So yeah, refreshers. Refreshers is kind of like bigger fizzes. They're like bigger fizzes, and I didn't really get them that often. I wasn't really into tangy sweets. I like sour sweets, but like tangy, I always made my tongue feel a bit blah, blah. But like refreshers were nice to get in like a trick or treat bag or something. I guess wouldn't really complain, but I think I preferred fizzes because they were smaller and you could kind of go blah, 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 with them. But refreshers, there's a bit more to go through. So I'd say it's not as good as fizzes. I think. Again, it's a bit like the drumstick. Refreshers, the main appeal of them is the aesthetic, and there are a lot of like other products that will use refreshers in them, because they have a nice aesthetic to them. So I'm gonna go with B for refreshers, and I think I've just offended the whole nation by just doing that because they're very popular candy. Listy, I do like other aniseed stuff. Weirdly, like aniseed balls and various fancy alcohols. I remember when my friend Luke came up north one time, and we went to like this mining museum or something, and they sold like aniseed balls. I remember the whole weekend him just eating out of this massive tub of like aniseed. So next is Dib Dab. Okay, Dib Dab. Way too sugary, but so fun. So fun. It's the novelty more than anything is just great about it. It's the idea of, it's basically like a packet of like sherbety sugary powder, and you've got a lollipop, and you suck on the lollipop, you dip it in, and you cover your lollipop with sugar, and then you suck on the sugar off the lollipop. It's terribly unhealthy, but it's just fun. I remember it being very fun. I don't get it nowadays though. I don't tend to get it nowadays. It's a bit like Kinder Surprise. It's and Curly Whirly. Most of its appeal comes from. It's mainly for kids. And like I just don't feel happy. I don't feel comfortable having that much sugar anymore. I just feel awful. But as a kid, it was fun to get a Dib Dab. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Don't know where to put it though. It's fun. Don't really have it much as an adult now, but looking at it, I just feel nostalgic and happy. So, I'm gonna put it an A tier. Love Hearts. Okay, so Love Hearts are like they're like round circles. They're like because America has Love Heart candy. We have the same, but like the little circles with hearts on them, and each one has a different like romantic or kind of cheesy message on it. It's the novelty. The only thing you'd like about a Love Heart candy is that it had those little sayings on them, and every time you ate one, you'd be like, oh, that's what the next one says. Oh, that's what the next one says. I remember as well, sometimes when I was a kid, if you liked someone and you wanted to show your affection, you'd get one of these little candies and you'd give it to the person you like, because it might have something nice on it, which is kind of cute. Love hearts are cute, but again, I prefer, when it comes to the Swiggler and Matlow candies, I prefer Parma Violet. They're kind of like big fizzers. They're very fizzy. I think what I don't like about them is they're a bit too chalky and a bit too hard. Fizzers are hard, but not too hard. So I'm gonna put Love Heart. Oh, it's hard. It's really difficult. They are very chalky, Silver. They're very chalky, but they're so cute. They're very cute and very nostalgic, and I feel like that's the right tier for that. Ah, but they. I mean, like when I've got Swiglow's Matlow bag, I usually have the Love Hearts last. You know, I'm gonna go B. I'm going B. Okay, Galaxy. I like Galaxy. Fine. I prefer other Galaxy products besides the Galaxy bar, though. I like all the other ones that they do, and their ice cream. The actual Galaxy bar on its own, I don't know. I feel like the Galaxy bar melts a bit too fast, and is a bit too heavy. A Galaxy bar is like a heavier Cadbury's bar. Listy says Galaxy changed their shape, and they say they're not giving us less chocolate, but I'm pretty sure they are like those Toblerone minis. Enderbazundi, I like Smarties, even though they are sour and chalky. Smarties are a completely different thing over here in the UK. So Galaxy, yeah, they're nice. I like when I get a Galaxy in a celebration box, but as a bar, they're a bit too much. They're a bit too heavy for me. But like if I want to feel a little fancy, Galaxy's nice. Oh, you know what? This is again. I want a B.5 tier. I mean, if I had to choose, yeah, Galaxy's superior to all four of those. So yeah, I'm gonna go with an A. Yeah. Okay, Mars bars. I like Mars bars fine. It's a great combination of like soft caramel, nougat, and chocolate. It's basically a Milky Way, but with like caramel thrown in. But I've always found Mars bars too bulky, and I've always gone like, you know what, I might as well just get a Milky Way bar. I might as well get a Milky Way bar because they're smaller and they have more nostalgic value to it. So yeah, Mars I'm a little about, but the thing is, I prefer, you know, out of all Mars products, I love Mars ice cream. Mars ice cream is delicious. Mars works so well as an ice cream. If it was Mars ice cream on there, I'd put that on S tier. It's amazing. So I'm gonna put it A tier. Leo says, I like Mars, but I find Snickers better. I've grown to like Snickers. I don't think Snickers is on here. I'm gonna get to Snickers. We'll definitely get to Snickers. But yeah, Mars. I like Mars when they're bite size or in ice cream form. On their own, I'm like, There's others I probably want. So So in the US, you call Mars bars Milky Ways. Okay, and then we have a Milky Way as well, but it's like a Mars bar without the caramel and smaller. Listy, they're too sweet for me. I have to be really hungry to eat a whole one at once. Yeah, like as the bulky. Silver, have you tried freezing Milky Ways? They taste wonderful. No. And that might sound good actually, because like nougat is really good as ice cream. So, And it was on Milky Way is UK's Milky Way is Three Musketeers. Oh, this is gonna hurt my head. Okay, so what are these called again? How did I forget what they're called? Doles, something Doles. What they're called? Anyone chat? Remember what they're called? Something Doles mixtures or something like Dolly Mix. Yeah. See, I'm a bit mixed. I just realised I did that pun. But like, I'm mixed about Dolly Mixes. because it's a weird variety of different things in there, and sometimes I'd usually pick out some of them over the other ones, and that's like, that's not a good sign for a mix, I think. If you're gonna get a mix, you kind of like, you want to get your hand in and like, but with a dolly mix, I was always like, because I'd never liked the gummy ones. The gummy ones are a bit too hard, and I like the softer ones and the chewier ones. So, but the aesthetic is fantastic. I love the aesthetic. It's great to look at. They're all really pretty. They're all very pretty to look at. And if you put them all on a table or a plate, they look gorgeous. But they just bring out the pickiness for me. Wait, Listy says dolly mixes a pile of sanders to eat. I won't go that far. Dolly mix, again, if you present a dolly mix to me, I think my first reaction would be like, if I have to. It's like, I don't dislike it, but it's not one of those things I crave. I'm gonna go with B tier. I'm gonna go B tier. Bounties. This is weird, but when I was a kid, I hated bounties with a passion. When I was a teenager, I hated bounties with passion. Nowadays, I'm like, bounty. I still leave it lost in a celebrations box, but I've grown to like it. And it says a lot because, like, I've never really liked coconut. I remember when I was a kid, I actually had real coconut milk from a coconut. My dad had brought a coconut, split it, and let me and my brother have the milk from the coconut, and we ran outside going, but yeah, I've come to love Bounty. I really have. I feel like the coconut flakes is so well complemented by the chocolate. So it just works so well together. I kind of wish there was a little less coconut and a little more chocolate, but I like it. I'm gonna go with A. I think when I was a kid, probably like F terrible, but now I'm like A. Bounties are good. Yeah, Listy is saying like it's too much coconut for me. Yeah. Leo, I love Bounty. Best part about everyone else hating it, you get them all from the celebrations time. Yes, you do. You definitely do. But I've only appreciated that recently since I started getting it, started enjoying Bounty. I think what happened was it happened quite recently that I started liking Bounty because I think I had a celebrations box. I can't remember if I was sharing or not. I don't remember, but there was bounties left, and I was like, I've got like a craving for some kind of candy. All I've got left is bounties. Fine. Hang on, bounties are good. My tastes have changed so much since I was a kid. Endibazondia says, Bounty reminds me of my dad's favourite candy bar, Almond Joy Mounds. Never heard of that. Twix. Oh, I think I really do like Twix. When I was a kid, I wasn't too fond of them. I was like, Twix, fine. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, because I think what happened was recently, when I was like restocking stuff in my place, I always sometimes get like a pack of like chocolates. I remember one time I got a bunch of Twixes. I had one Twix and I was like, I want more. And when I was a kid, that wasn't my relationship with Twixes. So it's definitely changed. You know what? S tier. Yeah, they're very Moorish. So for those who don't know, they're basically biscuits with caramel on top, covered in chocolate. It's just a really great chocolate bar, I think. Really great. And I think what the other good thing about Twix is because they often come in doubles. You have one, you're like, that was good. Oh, I've got another one. Hey! Where am I in chat? Listy says coconut was the Marmite of desiccated fruit. That's brilliant. Listy also says, when I was drunk, I soaked Twix and vodka because it seemed like a good idea at the time. Children, it was not. That sounds awful. Leo, Twix might be my fave. You bite the ends off and drink your tea and coffee with them. When I treat myself, it's with a Twix. Yes! I think that's why I've started to really appreciate Twixes more, because like they're like Time Out, they go really well with coffee. I'm starting to realise that my S tiers are going to be stuff that goes well with coffee. There's a pattern going off here. NW's on said they did the whole left-right Twix to make fun of politics. I remember that. That was a weird campaign. That was a really weird campaign. Silver, Twix has always been too thin for me. Really? They're a bit... I think if I was to criticize them, I'd say that they're a bit too big. But I think they're a good size. They're a good size. I like cheese. Every time I say Twix, I eat all of it. Silver, like, why get a Twix when you can get a Milky Way for the same price, but double the substance? But yeah, Twixes are great. Milky Bars. Oh, so I love white chocolate. I love it. White chocolate is probably my favorite chocolate, maybe. I really do love it. And Milky Bars also has that great nostalgic quality to it. And the aesthetic's great. And the Milky Bar Kid is like an icon of commercials and of candy culture. So yeah, Milky Bars are pretty great, I think. I like them. And yeah, they just make you feel like a kid again. They really do. I don't think I've got any complaints with Milky Bars. I tend to eat the Milky Bar buttons more, though. I will admit that. I eat the Milky Bar buttons way more. But yeah, you know what? I want to try Milky Bar again. Just looking at it, it's just there's something very wholesome about it. It's very wholesome, very nice. I think so I think that's why. I think what I don't like about Milky Bars and why I find myself going more for the buttons is because the Milky Bar is a great chocolate, but you kind of want more of it. And a Milky Bar is quite thin and quite small. But with buttons, like, it's basically the same kind of chocolate, but, like, you can grab it, and Milky Bar is a very Moorish kind of chocolate, and it's white chocolate, so I'm going to go with A. I'm going to put Milky Bar in A. Silver, my fear has always been having someone accidentally bite into my art erasers thinking they're white chocolate. Don, candy plus coffee equals a lovely morning snack. Agreed. An irrational fear, oh dear. NW's my favourite candy is Starburst. Okay, so double decker, I can't remember. I remember having double deckers, but I can't remember. Can you remind me what double deckers were like? Leo, you know what goes weirdly well with white chocolate porridge? Okay, whatever instantly possessed me, I put some white chocolate in my porridge and holy shit, it was incredible. It's insane how there isn't any white chocolate flavoured porridge because regular chocolate porridge is awful. Oh, I'm tempted now. I'm probably gonna try that. This Rimsey, it's a nougat version of Toffee Crisp. Oh, it's coming back now. But I think what kind of makes me go, is the fact that I forgot what it even was. And it is one of the mainstream Cadbury bars, so that says a lot. But if it's Toffee Crisp but with nougat, that sounds really nice. I don't know if it's fair for me to give an analysis, but if I've put Toffee Crisp on A, then I think Double Decker should go on A as well. Fruit salad. Oh, dang. So, fruit salad. Yes, fruit salad. It's hard to explain what fruit salad is, but like they're like, it's like sugar. It's like sugar, and it looks like it's chewy, but it's not. And I can't remember the flavor. Doesn't remember what fruit salad even tastes like. I really don't. Tropical, yes. The thing is, I always preferred fruit salad over blackjack because, like I said earlier in the stream, licorice is terrible. It's ghastly. It is the flavor of the devil's dick. I hate it. So, but fruit salad. If you were to put like fruit salad, blackjack in front of me, I'd be like fruit salad, absolute fruit salad. That's one thing it has over blackjacks, but they're still just too hard. But they look chewy. And when you put a fruit salad in your mouth, you instantly want to chew it, but you can like just sit there and you just try to suck on it, and it does have a good flavor, and the packaging is very cool, very pretty, and like when you see those colors you instantly go fruit salad. And a bit like refreshers, the fruit salad aesthetic often gets added to a lot of other products, namely like alcoholic drinks and stuff like that. So fruit salad, I'm gonna go with B. It's a good flavor, but it's just not fun to eat. It's pretty to look at. Yeah, so fruit salad, jelly tots. I remember liking jelly tots, but I think I've definitely grown out of them, and I've just not had them since, because they definitely feel like they're for preschoolers. The packaging, the name, everything, it just seems like it's all for preschoolers, but I remember liking them. I remember even as a teenager, I would guiltily get them, but I can't remember what they even taste like. I'll say this, I always preferred jelly tots to fruit pastels, because they would stick to your teeth. They wouldn't stick to your teeth, and they were a lot softer. So if I'm saying that they're better than fruit pastels, probably B tier. Probably B tier, yeah. If you were given the option of like, hey, fruit pastels or jelly tots, jelly tots. Okay. So next up, we've got. Oh, by the way, does anyone have any thoughts on jelly tots before I move on? Any jelly tots fans out there? And it's very cute. I'll give it that. It's very cute. But I don't feel right having them anymore. They're tasty and they're made of jelly. That's all I know. Yeah, they are what they are. They're jelly sweets for toddlers. We have jelly beans here as well, NW Zande. Okay, so I guess no one's got anything to say about jelly tots. So next up, I think they're rainbow drops. Yes, they're rainbow drops. So rainbow drops, they kind of look like the candy that the soot creatures eat in Spirited Away. They kind of look exactly like that. Very colourful, and they do look pretty. They look very pretty, and I think their new packaging is even nicer now. But to actually eat them, they're like, they don't taste. Cheerio G Crowbat. Rainbow drops don't taste as good as they look, is what I'll say. They kind of taste like stale air. They really do. And like the even though they look like they're covered in sugar or chemicals or something, you barely taste the sugar or chemicals. Like, they're very faint, very subtle. But they're nice. They're probably better for decorating things, maybe, I would say, than actually eating. Like, they're kind of like, it's kind of like, they kind of taste like cereal, but without the milk. And a lot airier. So, yeah. Aesthetically very pleasing, but not to actually eat. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in C. It seems like a C tier kind of one. Like, I wouldn't complain if I had to eat them, but I'd be like, they're cute. Yeah, it's puffed rice. It's puffed rice. They're all colourful, very colourful. So yeah, very, very mid tier. They are very mid tier, kind of like candy. Okay, Walnut Whip, never had. Never ever had it. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it wherever I go in terms of like supermarkets or convenience stores. Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Never had them. I never felt the need to. I didn't get them. I never got them. So, is anyone in chat tried a Walnut Whip? And if so, what do you think of them? I'm tempted to try them at least. It just looks a bit weird. It's just like, they look really big. And the walnuts are just kind of like, on top, just there. They just look kind of weird. They don't look the kind of thing they look like, they've got like the bulkiness of an Easter egg. And I don't know how you'd handle them without making it melt in your hands. Okay, so Listy. My mother loved the coffee flavour, but they stopped making it. It's just like marshmallow in a jar stuffed with chocolate and a random walnut. See, there's better products out there that make good use out of chocolate and marshmallow. I think it is on this list. So, yeah, meh. I might try it out of curiosity, but I'm not eager to. Leo, I think I've had a whip once and found them unremarkable. I literally can't remember what's inside them. Someone was saying it's marshmallow. It sounds like it's creamy inside, just from the whip. Sounds like it's a whipped cream kind of thing inside. But I guess not many people are into walnut whips either, so it might be underwhelming for me to try. Kit Kats, we all know where it goes. Kit Kat is like one of the best chocolate bars ever. It's just so good. So good. Because the slogan of like, have a break, have a Kit Kat is so perfect. Because it feels like you're having a break when you're having it. It really does. It's a nice. It's the right size. It's the right amount. And once, a bit like a Twix, once you've had one bar, you want the other. And it's got an it's got an interactive side to it where you can snap it, or you can be a complete psycho and like not snap it and eat the whole thing. Weirdos. The snapping's the best part. The snapping adds to that break feeling of like, you know what? It's a bit like cracking open a beer can. It's that same kind of feel. Kit Kats are just really great. They really are, and a bit like Twix and Time Out. Great to have with a coffee. So yeah, what does everyone else think of Kit Kat? I definitely say it's S tier. I really do. Whenever I want to get like a big collection of chocolate bars to stock in for groceries, I usually just go for Kit Kat. I'm happy just having a bunch of Kit Kats in my what's the word, cupboard. Ender Bizonde says Kit Kat's one of my favorites. I Like Cheese says I eat Kit Kats like it's my last day on earth. LIVESTREAM says I like trying to eat them by layers. I used to do that as a kid as well. Like because that was one of the, I remember, oh, you're taking me back now. I remember when you would get like any kind of chocolate bar, particularly when it had layers, and you'd kind of like almost like break it apart to see what the layers are like inside. Almost like it was like a behind the scenes. Especially with Kit Kats, because like you'd always want to get to the wafer. Leo says snapping them, eating around the edges. Yes. The edges are great. The edges are so good. Edges aren't usually good. Usually you don't even get edges with most bars. Like the coating usually just goes around it. But the edges of a Kit Kat, like even if you go little nibble, like that's good. Even the edge is good. Leo, yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, and I think you and I in the same camp. The best shit is the stuff you have with your cuppa. Absolutely. Yeah, Kit Kats are just great. You can't go wrong with a Kit Kat. You really can't. You can't complain about Kit Kat. There's nothing wrong with it. You get what you get, and it knows what it is as well. It doesn't oversell itself. There's a humble quality to it. Okay, Wham. Oh, okay. So Wham. They're kind of like. How do I explain a Wham? They're like blocks of long, hard sugar. I forgot. Do they have sherbet in them? And I can't remember. But like they're like blocks of sugar, and I think they're usually strawberry flavored or blueberry flavored. Yeah, the Wham bars, they are nostalgic. But I remember there was a Beano bar as well that was kind of similar as well. But Wham bars, very nostalgic, and I always remember getting them after going swimming for swimming lessons, especially at school. Listy says Wham is what Willy Wonka would make after meeting a unicorn. That's a great description. I think the problem with Wham is that a bit like it is very much like it's got the same texture as a drumstick. The problem with Wham is that like it's got a great taste. I remember it being really good, and it was a real good taste to have after you had like a real long swim, and I think that's why I enjoyed having it after a swim. But it's just so hard. I remember the taste being so good, but the hardness was like and you had to kind of suck it to make it softer. I don't know, because the thing is, I'd say I'd prefer a Wham over all of these, but is it on the same level as these? Yeah, I'd say yeah, it is. It's got the nostalgic factor. I remember the flavor being fantastic, and a bit like a Kit Kat, it has that break value to it, and it was great. I remember Wham being great to snap. Wham were great to snap. Like it would be hot. You shouldn't snap it, because then you just got two Wham bars, and they're very sticky. But they had a great snappiness to them. Listy, I wonder how on earth our generation even has teeth left. True. But yeah, Wham are all right. I'd say, yeah, out of all the ones we've gone for, like, it's probably one of the better candies. It's because, like, I've not had many candies get up on my S or A tier area yet, so I feel like it's one of the better candies, and I prefer it over all these candies. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Karamak S tier, there you go. Karamak is amazing. I love Karamak. Karamak is basically, Karamak is like a Milky Bar, but caramel. And it's so good. It's so sugary, but it's so good. I knew from the beginning that Karamak would be my S tier. And like, I think one of the best things about Karamaks, and at the same time one of its disadvantages, is the fact that it's so hard to find them. So hard to find a Karamak, and when you've come to a shop that has a Karamak, you're like, yes, and you appreciate it more because it's such a rarity. I don't know why it's rare. I remember being around much more when I was a kid, but nowadays I'm like, where are the Karamaks at? Where are the Karamaks? So when I find a Karamak, I'm like, yes. Ugh, it's so good. I can't, I'm sure someone else in chat probably explain what makes it so great better than me, because like, all I can say is it's just a really good caramel sugar bar thing. it kind of looks like chocolate, but it's not chocolate, and it's just it's got this great taste, and like, I like the packaging. The packaging is really nice. Like, it fits the bar. It really fits the bar, and it stands out. It's got that really bright yellow, that really strong red, and when you see, because it's so rare, it's great to see it. You're like, ooh, there it is. Ooh, it's like a big sign. Don, I want to try caramel, but I feel like it's going to make me throw up. It depends what you have, how you have the caramel, I would say. But Karamak is S tier, absolutely S tier. It's just so good. Like, if any of you ever come to England and you see a Karamak on a store shelf, get it. Get it. Leo, I remember having a Karamak bar when I was watching classic Doctor Who, and I didn't even finish it, but I found Magnum ice creams with Karamak coating and caramel inside, and they're generally gorgeous. Weird how that changes. You lost me when you said I didn't finish a Karamak bar. The kind of people that don't finish a Karamak bar, the kind of people that eat Kit Kats without snapping them. I'm sorry. How can you not finish a Karamak bar? Thank you for following Sakuya is best name. Okay, so next is Matchmaker. I never really got into Matchmakers. So like, Matchmakers are like mint sticks covered in chocolate. I mean, like, if there were a party, I'd probably eat them, but there are better, it's there, but there are superior mint chocolate products out there, much better. But Matchmaking, yeah, I'm not too fussed, but it's good, but it's very much a party snack, and it's only that's the thing, it's only a party snack. And the thing is, there are a lot of party chocolates that you can eat on their own, like Celebrations, like Heroes. Like, you shouldn't, but you can scoff them. But with a Matchmaker, it doesn't have that same kind of appeal. And I think what really kind of annoys me about it is that it looks like it's going for a luxury design, but it's not really going for a luxury design at the same time. Like, it's almost like it's just weird. It's like this weird, classy but not classy kind of thing. I like cheese. I will just give away Kit Kats and Twixes to kids for Halloween. Yeah, do it. Yeah, Listy. Yeah, no one is buying that 2 month shot down during countdown. Yeah, like there's just better versions of a Matchmaker. There really is. And like, when you say party chocolates, it's not one of the first things that come to my mind. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just. See, I don't know. You know what? I'd prefer. I'm gonna go with A. I'm gonna go with. It's not bad, but it's just not. It's not really special at the same time. But I would prefer. I prefer a Matchmaker over these, at least. Yeah, I have a weird relationship with that. Cadbury buttons. Oh, S tier. Cadbury buttons are so good, but like you don't see them enough nowadays. Most Cadbury buttons are just the giant version, and that's it. But Cadbury buttons, the smaller ones on their own, oh, so good. The classic Cadbury chocolate in button form is so good, so damn good, and I can't explain why. It's the best out of all buttons candy. It's the best one. They're basically round chocolate discs, very small, very Moorish. I think the only downside is that like they always came in very small packages. They came in quite small packages, but they were just so delicious, so damn delicious. And it was under, is there a candy that is objectively bad? We might get to one on the list. But yeah, buttons. It's weird because like, yes, it's little, and you want more afterwards. But that's what's so good about it. It's liquid gold. It looks like it is designed for children, but it's out of all the candy that's designed for kids, it's the best one. Buttons are just, I don't know how to describe how good they are. I really don't. They're just really good. And like, I've tried to find like chocolate buttons. That's the thing. Yes, Cadbury's chocolate buttons are small, but I've had chocolate buttons in bigger packages, and like you get sick of them after like half a pack. So I think maybe even though Cadbury's chocolate buttons come in a small package, it should be in a small package. Yes, you do feel Moorish afterwards, but at the same time you don't feel sick. Liam, makes me feel like a kid again after having buttons. Yes, it does. And I think that's what makes Cadbury chocolate buttons superior to the other kind of like nostalgically designed kind of candy that I've ended up in A or B tier. Why Cadbury's chocolate buttons is better than things like, say, Dib Dab and Milky Bar and all that kind of jazz is just it's just better. How do I explain this? Out of all these, this is the hardest one to explain why. So you just have to taste it to see how good it is. Like, I've tried all other button chocolates, and none of them come even close to Cadbury's chocolate buttons. They really don't. And I wish they brought them back, because like in giant form, it's just not the same. It's really not the same. I prefer them smaller. Okay, so I've gone for a bit too long about chocolate buttons. Maltesers. Oh, Maltesers, I have a love-hate relationship with them. Okay? So, one of the things that makes me really cringe and wince is, like hard crunchiness. Just makes... Bleh. But, as I've gotten older, I kind of like Maltesers more. That's one thing, yeah. Maltesers make me shiver when I have them, but they taste so good! They taste really good, but you do have to kind of soften them up a bit, because they're a bit too hard. And like, I don't like chewing them for too long, because the slower you eat a Malteser, the more I feel that shiverness. I feel like I'm on my own. I really do. But they are really good, and they're one of the best Halloween candy, one of the best Christmas candies to get. So I'm gonna go with A. It's flawed, but it's great. I'm shivering already talking about it. Leo, Maltesers, everyone's mum's favourite chocolate. Yes, I remember my mum loving them. Listy, because of the advert where a girl did it, I now insist on lying on my back and blowing at least one Malteser in the air before eating it. I never tried it. Liam, yeah, you don't bite into them. You've got to let the malt melt in your tongue. Yes, I agree. Yeah, the problem with Maltesers is that like you can't go hum with it. It's a bit of work. It's a bit of work. You've either got to like eat them fast so the shiveriness doesn't get here, or you've kind of got to let it melt in your mouth a bit. So there's a little work involved, and I think why I'm putting it my A tier. Listy, they float. I thought the advert was bull, but they do. Oh, they do. Flying saucers. Oh, I don't know. So flying saucers are like, they're like coloured rice paper that's like shaped. They're round, and like shells. They're like rice paper round shells, and inside is sherbet. They're very nostalgic, super nostalgic. They really make you feel like a kid again, but I've not had them since I was a kid. They're nice to look at, and they bring back lovely childhood memories just looking at them, but I don't think I could eat them again. They're a bit too sugary, and sometimes... Another problem with the flying saucer is that sometimes there's not enough sugar in there, and all you taste is just like this flavorless rice paper. Listy says, my mouth is watering thinking of how tart they are. It's about the flying saucers. Yeah, they're very tarty, but it depends how much sugar you get inside the shell. But yeah, they're pretty good. But it's been a while since I had them. They're nice for a 10p mix. I've got nothing wrong with them. They just have to have a decent amount of sugar in them. And I'd say I probably prefer them more than most of these. So yeah, A tier. I'm getting a lot of them in my A tier. What's this? Is that a Ripple? Ripple, yes. So Ripples are kind of like flaky chocolates. They're of the Galaxy brand. The flakes covered in chocolate, and they're very long. That's the big thing about them. They're long. Ripples I like, but I have to be in the right mood for a Ripple. And it's the same reason why I'm kind of about Galaxy bars as well. It's just, they're very classy. And when you get a Ripple, you're kind of like, and they're very long, so there's a lot to get through. But you don't feel sickly after having a Ripple. Like, they're long, and you feel like you're going for a lot of chocolate, but like, they don't make you feel sick. I'm going to go with A. I'm going to go with A, because like, they have the good Galaxy chocolate without being too heavy. The flakiness makes it less heavy compared to a regular Galaxy bar, I think. And yeah, again, it's got this classiness, it's got this luxuriness to it that I think the Galaxy bar on its own doesn't really achieve. And it's good for cheering us up as well. It's like one of those indulgent kinds of chocolates, a bit like a Magnum ice cream. Like it's classy, it's rich, but at the same time, you don't feel like you're spoiling yourself too much. Yeah, Ripples are good. Ripples are pretty good, I'd say. Yeah. Listy, Ripples are a copycat of the superior flake. Boo. Kinda, but Ripples are covered with chocolate, though. They're flakes covered with chocolate. They're basically twirls, but there's just one twirl and longer. And like they're less heavy compared to twirls as well. Okay, we know where this is going. After Eights. Leo says, I prefer Ripples and twirls over flakes, less sodding mess. Yes, agree. Another plus to Ripples is that it's one of the flaky chocolates that is less messy. But yeah, After Eights, S tier right away. After Eights are amazing. So, After Eights, they're like wafers, and inside they have like a mint creamy fondant, and they're covered in chocolate, and they're square shaped, and they come in these little paper packets, and like you just take them out, and like they come in boxes. I wish I could just show a picture, but yeah, the great thing about After Eight, okay, there's so many great things about After Eights, but After Eights, they are god tier candy. I agree, Listing. So with After Eights, they are very, very Moorish, which is great because they always come with like almost like a binder or folder size amount of them, and once you have one, you're like, really good, very sugary, but never feel sickly. I've never ever felt sickly having After Eights, even though there's so much sugar in them. But like, you have one, you're like, over one. But the thing that makes it so great, and the thing that makes it the best luxury chocolate, or a chocolate that's trying to achieve like a luxury aesthetic, is the fact that it feels classy. When you're eating them, you feel like you're wealthy, and they're so good for parties, especially like little quiet tea parties or wine parties or something. They're very good for like giving this atmosphere of like classiness and sophistication. You feel like someone wealthy or sophisticated when you're having an After Eight. And like, but the thing is, I've had After Eights while on their own, not at a party, and they still taste great. And they still have that same appeal. They're so good. Leo, wait. Oh yeah, so Listy says Thin Mints. I think they call them over the pond. Leo says, I don't like After Eights. I prefer the Elizabeth Shaw chocolate mints. Very Moorish, but with a great palate cleanser. I'm definitely gonna hear that out. But yeah, After Eights I love. I love After Eights so much. Ender Bizarre, Finn Mintz fans. Walmart, I don't know her. I don't know what that means. I think that's American reference. But yeah, I love After-Rays. So next we've got Toblerone. Okay. Very, very mixed feelings with Toblerones. On the one hand, they're so Christmassy for me, because every year in my stocking, which my mum still gives me, by the way, she still gives me the same stocking that I had as a kid. Each Christmas she'll bring that same stocking and she puts all the kind of stuff that she usually does each Christmas. And it's not a stocking without a Toblerone. It needs to be in there. And like, I have such great memories of going for a Toblerone throughout Christmas. I should explain what a Toblerone is. Felicity's probably going to explain what they are better than me. But like the triangular blocks, the chocolate triangular blocks with like nougat, and I think they've got honeycomb in them as well, like bits of honeycomb. I can't remember. Okay, but the thing is, while I have really lovely memories of Toblerones, yeah, Leo makes a really good point. A Toblerone is an airport or train station staple. It is for other people, but for me, it's Christmas. It's Christmas to me, and the other great thing about them having them for Christmas is that because there's so many triangles to get through, that like you can keep coming back to it. You can just fold the foil over, keep coming back to it. We will definitely get to the shape change in a bit in Dibizande, but yeah, you put the foil over and you come back later. And usually, if you just put it in the fridge, it's very much one of those kinds of chocolates where it's like come back to later, and because you can have a block and you feel like you've had a whole chocolate, but it's a great feeling to know you've still got some blocks left. You've still got blocks left there, but I'd say okay. My complaint would be I've sometimes had difficulty snapping them. I'll admit sometimes it doesn't have the same kind of like easy snappiness as a Kit Kat. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes, and sometimes when it really doesn't snap for me, I just get sticky. So that kind of does annoy me. But on their own, they're very great, and they, a bit like After Eights, they have a luxuriness to them. And like if someone gives you a Toblerone, you feel like you went out for me. You spent a bit for me, even though they probably didn't. But like it's got that feel to it. It feels like it's always felt like a classy chocolate to me. I feel like it was the first classy chocolate I had. Leo, I know they had more gaps, but everyone complained. Then they rightfully changed them back, unless they've done something else again. I don't know if they changed it back. I have no idea, but I heard that they've had bigger gaps, which personally I wouldn't mind too much because it gives me more space for snapping. Yeah, sometimes they're a bit of a wrestle to snap, but on their own they're really great. Very Christmassy for me. I don't feel like it's Christmas without my Toblerone. But where to put it? Probably A tier. Or S tier. I don't know. Like the snapping is a chore for me. I'm probably the only person on the planet that thinks it's a chore. Loco Laron just says, yeah, sometimes I need a knife to cut a Toblerone. Hi Loco. Listy, if there's foil involved, it's classy. yeah, true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with A. It's just a bit of a wrestle to snap them, but the thing is once you've snapped a triangle off, you feel like, yes, I did it. I earned this Toblerone triangle. It is mine. I work for this. What are those called? Fox's Mints. Yes. Fox's Mints. I don't know how to. Okay, so Fox's Mints, they're like clear mint candy. Okay, they're clear mint candy, and they do have a bit of a fanciness to them compared to other like other kind of like hard candies. It does have a bit of a fanciness to them, but I'd say I have a little nostalgic feeling from, because they were the candies that my parents would give me when we would go on a plane, and like, you know, when your ears go all weird. There was the candies that I would have. So there's a bit of a nostalgic thing for them, but I've kind of grown out of hard candies in general. I really have. I don't like hard things. I like soft things. So yeah, but it has nostalgia to it, and like I think the packaging's really really nice, especially with the polar bear, because it adds that coolness to the mint flavor. But yeah, Fox's mints are alright. I won't go to the ends of the earth for them, but they're nice. They're nice. Like if you were to offer me any hard candy, I'd probably go for Fox's mints. I'd say it's probably one of my favorite hard candies. Too strong a mint for me. I like my strong mint. I really like my strong mints. I really do. I like a lot of flavor when it comes to mint. Right, here we go. What are these called again? Bassets. The Bassets. Oh, Leo says, I wish chocolate bars would go back to foil and paper packaging. Less plastic and that shit is the best. I even remember Cadbury having that gorgeous purple foil. Yes, oh, yeah. And that, again, that would add some classiness to the Cadbury as well. Like, nowadays, Cadbury's aesthetic is a bit more juvenile. But back in the day, Cadbury's was one of the more fancy kind of chocolates. Leo says, Fox's mints, the constant reminder of global warming. Oh, no, don't remind me of that. You've ruined one of my childhood nostalgic memories now. But you're right. Bassett's all sorts. Yeah, they're like Bassett's all sorts. Hate them. Legitimately hate them. First of all, licorice. Licorice is terrible. Absolutely terrible. The worst candy of all candies. And I think what really annoys me about... Okay, actually I'm going with E. Because even though I hate the taste, I think they look interesting. They definitely look interesting, but it's disappointing because, like, I feel like I'd enjoy eating, like, the pink and the yellow and the blue bits more. And I think I did. I remember as a kid, I'd just eat the bits that weren't licorice. Which is not a good sign for a candy. When you're being really... I think a picky candy is not a good candy. And I think they had a mascot as well called Bassett, like Phil Bassett or something. And like that mascot got married in my city. I'm not making this up. They came up with like a wife for this mascot, and the mascots came to Sheffield, and they got married at the Bassett's factory. I'm not making this up. I'm really not making it up. But yeah, they're really annoying because like. They look nice, but they're really picky, and it's just evil for them to like mix this really nice looking candy with licorice. Leo says it's easy how Doctor Who made a villain based on that mascot. Yes, I saw about that as well. Bertie Bassett, he is kind of creepy looking, but I kind of like the weirdness to his design, and I like that they've utilised what his candy's made of. But yeah, it's out of all of them, it's the worst I've tried. Revels. Okay, Revels. See, the thing is, I like Revels, but a bit like most things in my B tier, it is a gimmick. The only good thing about a Revels is the fun of like not knowing what they are. But the thing is, the older you get, the easier it is to notice which one is which. So for those, sorry, I should explain. Revels is like there are a bunch of different things covered in chocolate, and you don't know what they are underneath. And their whole campaign was that it's like chocolate roulette. And every time you take a chocolate out, you don't know if it's going to be like peanut butter, coffee, orange, raisin. You don't know. And the whole gimmick was like, what if you end up with a chocolate you don't like? And when you think about that, it's kind of weird. It's really weird, and it is very much a gimmick. And it's not one of those kinds of candies where you can just grab a pack and be like, and enjoy something. It's a game. Revels are a game. Leo, I love Revels. The only ones I hate are the orange ones. I like the orange ones. I love orange chocolate, but for some reason those ones are foul. I think it's because you probably don't like them because it's not the chocolate that's orange, it's the fondant inside. And I think that's what I like it. I like orange flavour fondant. I think it's nice. But Revels, they're a bit too gimmicky. But compared to the other gimmicky stuff on here, it's better. And a game of Revels is kind of fun. It is kind of fun to like, and especially to watch someone go through a Revels and see their reaction of like going, ugh, I don't like that one. So it's kind of, it's one of the better gimmick sweets, I'd say. And it makes sense that it's kept going for so long. And it was under just like Bean Boozled in the States. I think we've got Bean Boozled over here as well. Leo also says, my parents and I would play a fun game where we'd guess the chocolate before we put it in the mouths. Plus, always funny when we got one we hated. Yeah, it's out of all the interactive gimmicky sweets, it is the best one. And like, I will also say that I've gotten to a point in my life now where I don't think any of the Revels would bother me. So it's fine. Whisper. Okay. I prefer Whisper Gold, but Whisper on them pretty good. So Whisper is kind of like a big block of like aero kind of chocolate, like air. There is a term for like aero kind of chocolate. I forgot what it was now. It's like an airy chocolate. It's very big, very blocky, but it has a nice shape to it, and it tastes like a Whisper because it's so soft. But at the same time, it's a little heavy, and it's a little bulky. But I can't deny that I really like it. I really do like a good Whisper bar, especially with a Whisper Gold, because Whisper Gold is like they put some caramel in there as well. Why have Whisper when you can have Aero? Is there an Aero on my list? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to get to talk about an Aero. Lion, the Flake, Fudge, Picnic. No, surprisingly, there's no Aero here. But Aero is fine. Aero's fine, but I always preferred Whisper. I think what I like about Whisper is even though it's bulky, big, and there's a lot there, it's the best of the bulky ones. Out of all if I have to have like a bulky chocolate, I go for Whisper because the airiness lightens it a little bit. Yeah, I like a good Whisper. I'm starting to lose my liking for it, I'll admit. I think I liked it more when I was a bit younger. I think over time I've lost interest in it, but I still would. If Whisper Gold was on here, then I'd be like, yeah, S tier. That caramel adds quite a lot, I'd say. Cameron saying Whisper Gold is better in my opinion. Yeah, it really is. You feel like the bulkiness is more earned when there's a bit of caramel thrown in, I think. It feels like a gourmet suddenly. Cameron, in the UK there was a chocolate I loved but was discontinued years ago. It was the shape of Pringles but covered in chocolate and had a mint flavour. I remember those. I forgot what they're called, but those were really, really good. Those were very good and very Moorish, like a Pringles. Minstrels, Galaxy Minstrels. I'm still uncertain about the naming of this chocolate. It doesn't seem right to call a chocolate a minstrel, but we have them. Galaxy Minstrels. I like them. They're basically, they're like chocolate covered with chocolate shells. And they're pretty nice, and they have the classiness of most Galaxy kinds of chocolate, and I do prefer over a Galaxy bar. You know what, actually, as well, yeah, whenever I go to the cinema and there's like a selection of like bags of chocolate, I always go for Minstrels. And I think it's because the shell is sweet but also crunchy, and it mixes into that like the soft creamy chocolate center. It's really nice. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna forget name aside it's a pretty great chocolate, I think. It's probably my favorite Galaxy product as well. Listen, they should really change the name. Even Uncle Ben's Rice has been brought up today. I don't know why they've not changed the name. And I've told friends in America, like, yeah, we have a chocolate called Minstrels, and like, what? And it's still being sold. What? it's I feel guilty having them. Smarties. Okay, so this is one where I'm. Okay, so first of all, I should say. Oh, sorry, Leo. I still wonder if they're called minstrels because they're what every girl gets during that time of the month, pre-minstrel tension. It might be because of that. It's just still a bit weird. That's just as I don't know if that's just as strange to name after that. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's a strange name to go with, I think. Smarties. So, Smarties are different in the UK compared to the US. So, they're basically chocolate covered with a sugar shell that's coloured, and there's lots of different colours. So basically, they're kind of like M&Ms, and they all have an S on them. The problem is that I can't have them anymore because they're not vegetarian. They're not vegetarian because the colouring is made from some kind of beetle, I think, which is it's kind of annoying because like Smarties are very nostalgic and they're very Moorish as well. And I loved them when they came in the tube. When you're a kid and you open the tube and you see what letter you have, and you're like, oh, great, and you could just pour them down your throat, because they are very, very Moorish. They are super Moorish. They're kind of like M&Ms, but more whimsical, I'd say. Like, yeah. I don't really know where to put Smarties, because, like, I can't have them anymore. But they are very cute. Very delicious. I don't know. And W Sunday, I think you're referring to American Smarties. So again, Smarties in the UK is very different. It's chocolate covered with like a sugar shell, and each shell is a different colour with a letter S on it. So like it's very different to the ones in the US. And like I said, the colouring's made of beetles, so like I can't have them anymore. So where do I put them? They are like S tier, kind of, but I shouldn't have them. They are really, really, really good, and like they're adaptable. Smarties are adaptable as well because you can throw them into a chocolate bar and they make the chocolate bar even more interesting, and more delicious. Yeah, they're just very fun, very whimsical, and very delicious. I just wish they were vegetarian. Starburst. Straight to S tier. Starburst are great. So, Starburst are like chewy... Listy... Can Listy help me out here? Listy's been very good at the descriptions, which I've appreciated. They're very chewy and fruity. They used to be called opal fruits. But what's interesting about them is that each chew is a different colour, and they're each covered in like a wrap. But yes, I think that they're very fruity, they're very sweet, and they're the right kind of softness. I really like the softness of them. They're a lot softer compared to Chewies as well. I'm surprised Chewies isn't on this list. Listy says that Smarties are vegetarian now, I think. I hope they are. I missed them. But Starbursts are just really... I'd say they're the best candy. The best kind of, like proper candy. I'm not... Well, like, the candy that's not chocolate. It's the best... It really is. It's a... I'd say it can be kind of a chore to kind of, like, open each one because they're covered in, like, rice paper kind of packaging. And you have to kind of peel off. And sometimes you have to be a bit finicky with it. But, like, it's worth it. And it helps. I'd say what makes the packaging, even though the packaging can sometimes be a bit of a fiddle. Thank you for following, Paperback Rider. I think even though the packaging is a bit fiddly, it makes the experience of going through a Starburst package. Chewies, that's what they're called. Why do we call them Chewies? Chewies, they're like softer Chewies. Even though they have fiddly packaging, it makes the experience go longer, and it's kind of nice to just sit back and have like a pile of Starburst laid out, and one by one you unpackage it, chew it for a bit. Oh, there's another one. And everyone's got their own favourite flavour, because that's another thing. They're not coloured for the sake of it. Each of them have their own distinct flavour. And that's a lot of other kinds of candy like Starburst, they have one flavour all the way through. But with Starburst, it's lots of different flavours. Yeah, so I'd say Starburst is definitely S tier, absolutely. Palmer Violets, straight to S tier again. Oh, Palmer Violets are so good. So Palmer Violets are basically like Fizzers, which we like said earlier on is like an American Smartie. But Palmer Violets are so good. They're probably my favourite hard candy. They're so good. So, like, how do you describe a Palmer Violet beyond, like, perfection? They are god tier sweets. They're like, so Listy says that they're like being allowed to eat soaps in Lush. They are! Oh my god, that's the perfect description for a Parma Violet. They really are. It's hard to describe what the flavour even is. It's a purple flavour. They are purple. They're very purple, and the packaging is very pretty. And like whenever you get a Squigglo Matlows pack, like a big bag of them, that's the one everyone goes for. It's like, yes, Parma Violet, eat all the Parma Violets, all the Parma Violets. They're so good. Oh, so amazing. I don't know how to describe what makes them good though. It has all the qualities of a fizzer, like the fact that like there's lots of them, and the packaging is kind of fun because you kind of have to untwist it. It's the same kind of thing, but it's less tangy and it's got a smoother kind of taste. Yeah. I don't know how to explain what Parma Violets are good, why Parma Violets are good, without getting people to actually try them. But they are the best hard candy, the best British hard candy. They're so good. You feel like you're spoiled when you're having them. Really do. Endibazonda says, speaking of soap, don't use cinnamon when making soap. It'll burn your skin. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about Parma Violets, except that they are one of the best candy ever. And it's kind of weird, because you get a Parma Violet, and you get them with some of the more tacky kinds of sweets, like drumsticks and love hearts. Parma Violets are just thrown in there, and it just stands out. And you're like, oh, I want that one. Why can't Parma Violets? I think sometimes Parma Violets are sold on their own, but I'm not sure. Quality Street. Oh, can't be a good Quality Street. I think what I really love about Quality Street is that out of all the like boxed or tinned collections of chocolates, it's the one that feels the most like family. That's the one you have with your family. It's a real family kind of thing, and it has this like wide appeal, because like it looks kind of classy, but it also looks kind of whimsical. It finds that fine line of like being a little quirky, but also kind of like we'll behave. And so like so for those who don't know, Quality Street, they're like different kinds of chocolates with different fillings, and they each have like foil packaging that are different colours, and everyone has a favourite, and you'll have like a piece of paper that's like points out which is which, so you're not like picking at random. And I remember really liking the mint triangles, but yeah, I like a good Quality Street. They're not the kind that you can have like casually though. I'd say it's very much the kind of thing you need to share it, or you need to ration it, because there's so many. It's literally a massive tin full of them, and there's loads of them. I'd say A tier. I'd definitely say A tier. It's like it's a good party kind of chocolate, but you can't really have it on your own. Cameron, my favourite candy as a kid was Mars Delight, but they don't make them anymore. Oh, dang. Pipback Rider. Gather around with the family with a tub of Quality Street around Christmas time. Nothing's better. Yeah, it's very Christmassy. It's another good thing. And I'd say out of all the tinned chocolates, it's the most Christmassy. It really is. Leo, I'm now in the minority here, but I've always liked Quality Street the least out of the selection tins. But I do admire how they're actually all original rather than full of existing brands. Yes, I agree. I like them. I will say I prefer like Heroes and Celebrations a bit more. But yeah, so Milky Way, straight to S tier. Milky Way is freaking amazing. So British Milky Way is basically nougat covered in chocolate, and they're just great. And I think what they have over Mars is that they're lighter and they're smaller. And so it's better, and like they're so good as bite size, whether in celebration or Halloween candy. And I think a bit like Smarties, a bit like Milky Bar, it has that like childlike nostalgia to it as well. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you can have a Milky Bar. They're still universal. They're still they've still got that universal appeal, and like they're just a good nougat chocolate bar. And the packaging is just really fun. It's a good, fun packaging. And it's just soft. And you know how much I like my soft ones. Cameron says Quality Street was my favourite, but the rest of my family prefers Roses. I'm thinking of Roses were a bit... Roses... I don't know. I liked Roses, but they'd always... As a kid, they always felt like they were for the grown-ups, so I never really got into them. So Silver says caution candies may be very pointy. So NW Sunday says the Milky Ways are like the Three Musketeers. Okay. Payback Red is a Milky Way ST, absolutely 100%. It really is. It's so good. Like it really does melt. Yeah, good point. It melts in your mouth. Like Listy says Milky Way melted over Crispy's cornflakes for a nice party treat. I never tried it. Cameron, in the UK, didn't they sell Wonka bars at one point? Yes, we did. But like not traditional Wonka bars. I think they were mainly like chocolate bars with like tangy pieces in them. So yeah, where was I? So next, I think those are chocolate. Those chocolate. Yeah, those are chocolate cigarettes. Okay, so chocolate cigarettes. Mixed feelings, because like the cigarette packaging makes it tacky, really tacky. But I remember the chocolate itself tasting really good. But it's just a bit weird, and I get why they stopped selling them anymore. Chocolate cigarettes are they're a bit of a strange thing, especially to sell to kids. It's like, I don't know, tacky. I'd say it's very tacky, but the chocolate tastes good. It belongs in the B tier, which is where most of the kind of like gimmicky stuff is. But the chocolate was good. I like the chocolate. It was kind of fun to peel the paper off the chocolate and just have a nice stick of chocolate. But the whole novelty of it was the packaging. It wasn't really anything special as a chocolate. Nestle or Hershey's? Nestle's a terrible company, but their chocolate's probably better than Hershey's. Silver, does it make smoke? It doesn't. It doesn't even smoke. It's just very tacky. But again, the chocolate's good. It's edible, at least. So next is Crunchy. I'm so sorry, everyone. But Crunchy goes in E tier. I hate honeycomb. You know how I keep saying, I don't like hard things. And I don't like... I prefer soft things. Crunchy just hits that bar of like, you're too hard, mate. I hate that it's so tough, and like honeycomb, the texture makes me kind of a bit like the Maltesers texture makes me kind of shiver. So yeah, I don't like crunchies. If I ever was given a crunchy bar, I'd feel so reluctant to eat it. It's such a pain to eat. But I think what keeps in E tier would have to be that, like, at least you get some Cadbury chocolate on top, and it's nice to suck that Cadbury chocolate off of it. That's the only thing. I'm sorry, I hate crunchies. They are my least favourite Cadbury's product. I just can't stand them. Even when you sell them in a small version, I'm like, ugh, no. Ugh. Honeycomb is gross. Leo says, I would like crunchy if it was thinner, either less honeycomb or more chocolate. Yes, I think that's another thing, is that it's the worst bulky chocolate. It's a bulky honeycomb, and I don't like honeycomb. I just don't like crunchies. I'm sorry. No. Feels like a punishment. It does. If someone gives me a crunchy, it feels like it's an insult. So if you're thinking of getting me a chocolate, never come to me with a crunchy, or that's it. We are no longer friends. Has anyone got anything to say to defend this crunchy? Anyone gonna go, objection, to a crunchy bar? I've just realised this stream's been going on for like almost 2 hours now. I was expected to be done after an hour, but there's still a lot to go through. But this is fun. This is fun. It just means that my video schedule is going to be bumped up a bit. Leo, that said, I once snapped a crunchy in quarters, put them into a glass of milk, and all the honeycomb melted away until you're left with chocolate boxes and a honey lasting milk. Yes, That does sound really good, but if you have to break apart and melt and basically disassemble what the product comes as, that's not a good sign. That's just a sign that it makes for better ingredients. So Listy says they love crunchy, so never gonna trust your opinion again, Listy. Leo, plus the honeycomb burns your tongue. It does! It really does. It's just, honeycomb in general just has this, like, sandpaper texture. Who wants to eat sandpaper? I don't get it. Yeah, honey tastes nice, but just get a honey sandwich. It's cruel. Crunches are cruel. Maybe the crunches go away. Silver says from the sounds, it doesn't seem like I'd like it either. Wonka Gobstoppers. I've always kind of been like, about Gobstoppers, because like, I like them. I like the novelty. I like that they remind me of Ed, Ed and Eddie, but they are a chore to get through, and like they make your jaw kind of hurt as well. And there's something kind of tacky about them, and the fact that you have to get through so much of it, but they're kind of fun at the same time. They're fun because like you're breaking it down and you get to show off to people. Look, I'm on to the next layer of color. Lizzie says, don't come crying to me when you want a sweet explained. Fine, I'm on my own now. You go eat your crunchy in a corner. Paper Rider, I'd take a crunchy over a Whisper or Kit Kat any day. What? I wish my mods were here to ban the lot of you. Okay, so Gobstoppers, kind of tacky, kind of there. Yeah, I'm gonna go for C tier. Like, I don't really want them. They're a game. They're a bit like a Revel, but like harder to get through and less fun. And like the fun of it takes a while to get into the fun of it. Yeah. Anyone got any like objections to where I'm placing Gobstoppers? Wonka Gobstoppers, that is. And it was only, it's like the cinnamon challenge. Who thought it was a good idea to eat raw cinnamon? So yeah. Any objections to Gobstoppers? Any Gobstopper defenders out there? Like, yeah, Gobstoppers definitely remind me of childhood with things like Willy Wonka and Ed and Eddie. Even though Willy Wonka's Gobstoppers look nothing like bloody... don't even look like Gobstoppers. Okay, we're moving on with crunchy folks. We're on to Gobstoppers. Anyone got any thoughts on Gobstoppers? Any at all? Before I move on to the next one. We've still got a lot to get through. Gobstoppers. What am I singing in the tune of? I can't even think. I don't even know. So I've got to go. My internet's acting up. Have a good time with the rest of the stream. Thank you. Cheerio. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I guess no one else has got any thoughts on Gobstoppers. Let's move on. Milk candy. So, milk candy, they're like... Damn, how do you explain them? Milk candies, they're like milk bottle shapes, and they're kind of foamy, but kind of not. They're kind of like foamy, gummy... They're weird, but you know what? If I find them in vegetarian form, because sometimes they are vegetarian, S tier. Oh, no, why'd I put that in A tier? Because I was scrolled down. Absolutely S tier. They're Moorish. They're just got this strange... They're very strange, but they're just so delicious. And, like, the shape is a bit odd, but it kind of... The way it goes against my palate, I'm kind of like, that's odd and bumpy, but I kind of like it. They're a strange kind of candy, but they're so delicious. And they're also kind of rare to find as well. And they're even better when they got powdered. Sometimes they're powdered and like, oh yes. Yes. So yeah, has anyone got any thoughts on milk candy? Milk bottle candy. Leo, I don't think it's just you. The stream was lagging a little on my end. Very sorry about that. Let me check. There's nothing I can do while I'm live, I'm afraid. Yeah, there's nothing. I can't improve the stream quality while I'm live. The only thing I can do is restart the internet. It's a bit late to do that, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry about the lagging if it is lagging. But yeah, any thoughts on milk bottle candy, everyone? Milk bottle candy. Listy, help me. I feel like am I the only person that's trying milk bottle candy? Because I feel like I am. And I feel like I'm the only person that puts it in S tier, where it belongs. It officially belongs there. It's my favorite when it comes to like a bag of candy. It's my favorite bag of candy. Seriously, no one's got anything for milk. Fine. Lion. Lion. So, if I'm honest, I prefer lions in cereal form. I know that's weird, but I really like Lion cereal. Lion cereal is one of my top 5 cereals. It's so good. As a chocolate bar, Cheerio Dom. As a chocolate bar, it's pretty good, I guess. It's a bit like a toffee crisp. But I think there's nut thrown in as well. Somebody correct me because Listy has betrayed me. I've not had a Lion bar in ages, I'm sorry. But they're a bit too bulky. But they're nice. I'd say they belong on the same tier as toffee crisps, to be honest, because they're kind of like a more aggressive toffee crisp, I guess. So yeah, any thoughts on Lion bars, everyone? Lion bars. I really do suggest people try the Lion cereal as well. It's really, really good. One of the best cereals ever. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of crunchy. I think it's got nuts in it, and it's got caramel in it. Listy says they're delicious. It tastes like vanilla milkshake. It does. Wow, it has been a long time since I had one. Then my memories are very faint. But if it was the Lion cereal, I'd be like, yeah, S tier. Any other thoughts on Lion before I move on? Because we've still got a long way to go. Any thoughts? Lion bars? I thought Lion would be more popular in discussion. Pepper Rider, Lions are a bit too thick for my liking. This coming from the guy who'll defend Crunchy to his grave. Lions are a bit bulky. And if I'm honest, I prefer a toffee crisp over a Lion. I never really got into Lions, but they're a good bar. They're a good bar, and they're better than anything that's in the B tier. Listy says Lion is good. Weirdly, when I was a kid, the advert with the roaring lion turning into the bar scared me. I need to look back on that advert. Oh, here's a fun fact, by the way, is that my great uncle directed commercials, and he might have directed the commercials for a lot of the things we're going through here. He directed a lot of the adverts for British products. And I think he did things like Lion, like Mars, like Marathon and that kind of stuff. Very eccentric guy, very eccentric guy. So like no one's got any thoughts on Lions. Right, let's move on. Rolos. Okay, so the Rolos. How do you explain Rolos? They're like caramel covered in chocolate, and they have like a round shape to them, very circular. I don't know how to describe a Rolo. They look how they sound. They're just Rolos. They're very Moorish, which is good because they have great packaging. Well, kind of great packaging. Okay, the packaging is a little flawed because it's like a paper packaging over a foil packaging, and you kind of have to push the foil packaging out a bit to get anything out of it. But it's a nice feeling when you pop a roller out of its packaging. It's like, yeah. But it's a little fiddly. And it's a little sickly, I've come to realise as well. But it is delicious, and it is Moorish. Oh, Leo's got something to say about Lion bars. I like Lion bars. I got into them purely for the name. I even had the cereal for a while. Yeah, I was saying, Leo, earlier on, like, Lion is one of my top 5 favourite cereals. Rolo, I'm going to go with A-tier. Someone said E-tier. No, it's definitely. It's A-tier. It's pretty damn good. But again, it's a bit too fiddly, and there's probably a bit too much caramel in them. Roses. We're talking about roses early on. So, yeah, roses are pretty much like Quality Street. But they're a bit more classy. They're They're a bit more feminine as well. And like, it's basically a tin of different chocolates covered in foil, different kinds of flavors of them. They never really stuck with me. Like I said, like, the grown-ups around me enjoyed them more, and I've never gone back to them since. But they've got nice packaging. I just don't remember them, and I think that's what Quality Street has over Roses for me. Is the Quality Street just has more memorable chocolates. I think Roses did have like a really nice strawberry fondant one. I'm probably gonna put it in A tier, to be honest. It's as good as a Quality Street, but I'd say Quality Street has a bit more to offer. Yeah, any thoughts on Roses, folks? Before I move on. Roses, roses, roses. Okay, I'm moving on because this stream's going to go on forever if I wait for people to talk. So next is Picnic. I don't think I've ever had a Picnic. I don't remember having one. Listy, Roses were what we got when there was no Quality Street. Yeah, it has that feel to it. Yeah, I know Leo really likes Roses, but I'm sorry. I just never really got into them. Quality Street was a bit more fun. Paperback, Quality Street is better than Roses. That the ratio of good chocolate to bad chocolate is greater in Quality Street. Yes, I agree with that. What did I just put down? Oh yeah, Picnic. So has anyone tried a Picnic before? Because I don't think I've ever tried Picnic. I think I might have, but like I just don't remember. I don't remember what Picnics were like. Oh no, I'm remembering now. They were like, they had raisins. That's all I remember. It's like they had raisins. But I don't feel confident categorizing because I've got no memory whatsoever of a Picnic. Okay, so nobody's got something to add to Picnic. Let's move on. So these are like hard cube candies. Don't like hard candy, but at least they're better than crunchy because they're a bit sweet. And there's a lot to get through, and they're nice to suck. They've got a nice, unlike crunchy, they're nicer to suck, and they don't feel like sandpaper. But at the same time, they're D because they're just so unremarkable. And if I ever got them as a present, or if I ever got them in a Halloween trick-or-treat treat bag, I'd be like, okay, gonna eat them last though. Cola cubes, the favorite sweet of the meat safe murderer. From Monkey Dusk. Alright. The cola flavor ones are nice. Out of all of them, they're the nicest. But I usually got them as like, as either apple or strawberry. Enderby's honey, not me. Not available here in the States. No worries, no worries. Okay, so hard cubes. Whatever. Terry's chocolate orange. Straight to S tier. Yes, yes. A bit like Toblerones, they are very Christmassy to me, especially when they've got like a white chocolate version that's like very snowy kind of aesthetic to the packaging. But okay, so chocolate oranges, and I hear that they are available in the US. They're like orange flavored chocolate, and it's shaped like an orange, and you can break it apart so you get chocolate orange peels that come out. Paper Rider, Terry's chocolate orange is S tier, absolutely. Yeah, it is a stocking filler. It's so Christmassy, and it's my favourite. It's probably my favourite orange thing ever. Out of all orange flavoured things, it is the best. And I don't even like oranges, so that says a lot. And like, yes, it's kind of gimmicky, but unlike the gimmicky stuff in like A or B, it has a classiness at the same time. And when you're breaking them apart, you still feel, even though it feels like there's a bit of a toy aspect to it. It's you still feel like a grown-up while doing it. It's like, got my orange peel, got my chocolate orange peel, yes. And the Dawn French adverts, which I grew up with for them, were so good, so good. I think she did those. I think she did Terry's chocolate orange, yes. And the tagline was always, "They're not Terry's, they're mine," which is a great tagline because they are pretty damn good. So yeah, I want to get through as many as I can now. So if you've got something to say it now. I'm moving on to the next one. Fudge. Yeah, I know it's a it's an S or A tier, because like they're great. So fudge bars, all they are is it's just a bar of fudge covered in chocolate. But I really like them. They're great for Christmas. You get as much as you want, as much as you need. But I wouldn't say they're very remarkable. So I'm gonna go with A tier. Like they're not exactly special, but if you get a fudge, it's like, yeah, that's good. It's a nice little fudge bar. It's good. Like it's better than most candy. Yeah. It is very nostalgic, and it's yeah. It's pretty damn good. It is. Yes, I agree with Paper Bag. It's between an S and A. It really is, like, it's right in between an S and an A. Okay, so next is Snickers. So I used to hate Snickers as a kid. Absolutely hate them. I hated anything with nuts in them. Getting older though, I liked them a lot, much better than I did than as a kid. But I think there's a bit too many nuts in them. And a bit like some of the other kinds of things from early on I was talking about, they get stuck in my teeth. The nuts get stuck in my teeth, so... But Snickers are really, really nice. They're like nutty versions of Mars bars. Like, yeah, I'd say A tier. A tier. Yeah, I wish there was less nuts, but it's pretty damn good. Wait, is Listy, what are you saying oh god to? The fact that I'm putting Snickers in A tier, not S tier? That's a good way of describing it, Leo. It's like a fudge is a nice treat. It's a nice treat. Listy, I don't like nuts with chocolate with the exception of Toblerone. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything favourite of mine any chocolate that mixes with nuts and I like it. Closest is probably Revels. So yeah, anyone got your thoughts on Snickers? Any objections to me putting on A tier? Any thoughts at all, folks? Anything to say? Okay, I'm moving on. Sorry, I've really got to keep moving. Cadbury's Cream Egg. Okay, so Cadbury's Cream Egg, it's basically a chocolate egg, and inside it has like a white fondant and like a yellowy orange fondant. So it's meant to be like a literal. It's meant to be an egg as a candy. Oh, Andrew says Snickers was one of my nicknames, and I hated being called that. I'm Nick, by the way. I see why the nickname would come from, but I can see why it could be annoying as well. But Cadbury's Cream Eggs, so very mixed feelings because they're very nostalgic, and they remind me of Easter. That like you don't really feel like it's spring or Easter in general. Unless you've had a Cadbury's Cream Egg. But they are so sickly, and the chocolate that surrounds it is so bulky, and like... But they're fun. They're fun. And like, they're kind of fun to like break apart and to like look inside of, but... The other thing is that like, they melt very fast, and they're so sticky as well. They're fun, and they just taste so sugary. You can just taste the sugar so much. I'm gonna go with B. I'm gonna go with B tier. Like, I have a lot of problems with it, but like, I like that it exists. Leo, I've honestly never liked cream eggs. Too overwhelming. They are overwhelming. I heard that they used to be actually creamy, but now they're too sugary. I think, yeah, that probably explains a lot, because I remember enjoying cream eggs a lot more when I was a kid than when I was an adult. So maybe they've gotten worse as I've grown up. Jelly babies. So jelly babies are like... They're like... they're like the gummy sweets, but like they have like a crispy coating, like outer coating, like inside is a bit softer and outside is a bit crispy. They're very much for toddlers, and they're very cute, and it is kind of fun to like bite off their heads and that kind of stuff. They're basically like gummy bears, but a lot weirder tasting. And babies. There's something a bit creepy to them at the same time. I mean, it is Bassett's. I think it's Bassett's. What's with Bassett's and their weird, uncanny characters? Listy, they're definitely getting smaller. Chocolate is getting thicker. Yeah, might be a good thing for the people who find them sickly. Leo, I remember the one advert showing people, trying them different ways. I saw one woman dip chips in them. Not gonna lie, I tried that. Might help offset the sugariness. I never tried any of the suggestions. Listy, the inside part of jelly beans, but the outside is powdery and weird. Yeah, they're very weird, but they're kind of nice at the same time. When you eat them, you feel kind of... they're just strange. They're very strange, but they're cute. They're creepy, but whimsical. I don't know. They're weird. I'm putting them in C tier. Tea cakes. Okay, can't have them anymore because they have gelatine. But tea cakes, they've got like a biscuit base, and then there's like a marshmallowy, fluffy marshmallow center, and then over the top is like this really thin chocolate coating, and it's... Tea cakes are delicious. They are really, really, really delicious, and they're very Moorish, but a little sickly at the same time. Like after 2 or 3, you kind of get meh, but they are really good. They're great to have at a party or with a coffee. Like, they're pretty damn good. I'd say they're A tier. I'd definitely say they're A tier. They're pretty damn good. Like a staple of a good British lunch, I'd say as well. Like, it's nice to have after a lunch or after a coffee. Yeah, it's pretty good. Turkish Delight. I've not had them since I was a kid. I remember liking them a lot though. I think they're like, someone's going to explain this way better than me, but like Turkish Delights, they got like a jelly and it's covered in chocolate. And I remember the chocolate complements the jelly quite well. But they're kind of weird. When I look back, they're kind of weird. But they were good. I remember having a thing for them. I had a phase where I really liked Turkish Delights, but I think I kind of grown out of it. You know what? I'm gonna go with B tier. B tier, yeah. Leo, I couldn't eat all tea cakes. Way too much marshmallow. There is, yeah. But like, I love the biscuit. The biscuit's probably the best part of a tea cake for me. And it's the marshmallow that kind of softens the biscuit. I like them more if there was a thin amount and it was just a disc. But I do remember my gran liked having them with a cappuccino. Aww. Wine gums. Maynard's wine gums. So growing up, these had a really weird advert where there was like a talking moose on a wall that would have them and go, oh, that's really good. No. That's all I remember about the adverts. Wine gums, as a kid, I didn't get them. And I always thought they were very grown-up kinds of sweets, but like they're basically gummy sweets, and they each have like some kind of like a name of a liquor or a wine on top, just written on top. And I can't remember if they're supposed to taste like alcohol or not, but I like them. I like them a lot. Yeah, they're a bit like they're kind of like bulky midget gems, sort of. I remember them. Yeah. I think the only novelty of them is like when you have them, you feel a bit more grown up. Listy, Turkish Delight is like a really hard set jelly / jello. It tries to be floury like Parma's but fails. Nothing's going to be good as a Parma Violet. Leo, I can't believe I've still never tried Turkish Delight, even after Nani made me curious. Not sure if I've ever seen them in God knows how long. I've seen them around. Leo, wine gums, my dad's favourite. They're very dad sweets. They are very dad sweets. Pepper Red wine gums, A/B tier. They taste good, but they're too chewy. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Wine gum is better than all those, so I'm gonna go there. Aero. I really like Aero. I prefer Whisper, but I like Aero. Aero is like a lighter Whisper. Aero's very airy. They're just airy chocolate, and like. The most popular is as a mint flavour, like a mint chocolate, and they've been like a green chocolate. And I think sometimes they're mixed with like white chocolate. I've not had Aero in a while. I don't know. I think I always found Aero a bit more sickly compared to a Whisper. Even though they're the lighter version, I always found them a bit too sickly. I remember loving them as a kid. They were probably my favourite as a kid, but growing up as an adult, I've kind of gone off them. But they're still pretty good. I do like my like airy chocolates. Paperback Rider says S tier for Aero, no doubt. I'm probably gonna go A tier. I'm sorry, A tier. I've kind of gone off Aeros over time, and I have them much less. I have Whispers more. Flakes. Flakes are annoying. They're annoying because they taste great. They're basically flaky chocolate as a stick. They are so messy. The flakes get absolutely everywhere, but they're really great. And But if you put them in ice cream, they're so good. We have this type of ice cream called a 99p flake. It's basically like a vanilla ice cream in a cone with a flake on it. And like that flake adds so much to that ice cream. But I think that's the problem with a flake, is that it's more of an ingredient than a good snack. It's more of an ingredient than a snack, but it is good. I just can't have it on its own. I'd say, dang, it's B tier, B tier. Yeah, it's fiddly, but it's not as tacky as like the C tier kind of stuff. One more topic, never had it. I don't remember ever having a topic. I think that's one of the chocolates I've never ever had. Paper Rider says S tier for flakes. I'm sorry, but no. they're messy, and like they get sticky as well. I only really appreciate flakes when you put them on something else, like a 99p ice cream. So has anyone tried a topic? Leo says, I hate the mess on flake, but it's not just crumbs, it's also melty. Yes, making the mess even worse. Yes, it's sticky and messy, and it's such a faff around to have one. And I feel like that's why it belongs with all these other ones. So Listy says, topic is a Mars bar but with nuts, I think. That just sounds like a Snickers. Leo, I've had topics before, hazelnuts inside, I quite like them. I'll give them a go, but I never really got them. I've also noticed there's a lot of chocolates that have not ended up on here, like a Boost. I'm surprised Boost bar's not on here. Boosts are really, really nice. I tried them the other day. I was like, wow, Boosts are really good. Howdy Don, I've just finished the tier list. So let's go through the tier list before I head off. So in S tier we've got Time Out, Twix, Kit Kat, Caramac, Cadbury's Chocolate Buttons, Small Packaging, After Eights, Minstrels, Smarties, Starbursts, Palmer Violets, Milky Ways, Milk Bottled Candies, Terry's Chocolate Oranges, Fizzers, Shrimp Foam Candy, Toffee Crisp, Dib Dabs, Galaxy Bars, Mars... Oh yes, we're on A tier, by the way. Mars, Bounty, Milky Bar, Double Deckers, Wham, Matchmakers, Maltesers, Flying Saucers, Ripples, Toblerones, Fox's Mints, Revels, Whisper, Quality Street, Lime Bars, Rolo, Roses, Fudge, Snickers, Tea Cakes, Wine Gums, and Aero. That's the A tier. In B tier, we've got Yorkies, Kinder Surprise, Curly Whirlies, Refreshers, Love Hearts, Dolly Mixes, Fruit Salads, Jelly Tots, Chocolate Cigarettes, Cadbury's Cream Eggs, Turkish Delights, and Flakes. So C tier we've got Fruit Pastels, Drumsticks, Rainbow Drops, Gobstoppers, and Jelly Babies. D tier is just the cubes, the candy cubes. E tier is rightfully the Bassett's All Sorts, probably the worst sweet ever made, and Crunchy Bars, probably the worst chocolate bars to ever exist. Boosts are tasty, Listy. They are really good. Listy also says, eat flakes in the bath like the lady in the advert. That sounds disgusting. I think my decision to put Crunchy on E is probably the most controversial tier list decision I've ever made in history. So before I head off, one more thing before I head off. What is everyone's number one favourite British candy out of all these? Which, if you had to pick one that is the best one, which would you pick? I would go straight for Caramac. Caramac is the best British candy ever. Probably the best candy ever. Don also says that Turkish Delights are Don says that they've heard Turkish Delights are good. I'm probably going to try another one if it's vegetarian. I'm not sure if it's vegetarian. I feel like maybe the jelly is made out of some kind of gelatine. Listy, I'm going to find you at the next con you go to with a crunchy flash mob and we'll eat them in front of you. You can eat them in front of me. I won't mind, but just don't give me them. But then again, the honeycomb makes me shiver, the biting. Endeavours on this is Starburst is their favourite. Paperback Rider, it sings complete gibberish. I'm going to decode it, and it says Crunchy is the best for me. It's a really weird thing to say. Leo says, I'll go Twix. Yeah, Twix is pretty damn great. Like, there's a reason it's in my S tier. It's pretty damn great. And like you get what You get as much as you need with a Twix, I think. That's one of the best things about it. You get as much as you need. The biscuit's not too hard, but also not too soft. And the caramel and the chocolate complement that biscuit. It's just a really great chocolate. Listy, I'm sticking with Palmer's. Palmer Violets are S tier. I'm sticking with, they're the best hard candy out there. And I just wish I knew how to describe them. I wish I knew how to describe what Palmer Violets taste like. Like heaven. They taste like heaven. Like a purple heaven. So yeah, anyone else want to say their favourites before I go? Sticking with my opinion that this is the worst. But out of the ones that I've not tried, I will try these three, but I have no interest in trying that. I always found the packaging weird. It looks like dynamite. Leo, I don't know if this is British, but I recently tried the Crunch Bars. Heavens above, they're amazing. Plus, I saw Peter giving one to Egon in Ghostbusters, but now I can't see in my local art store anymore. This Halloween, I'm going to try and order a bar or two online. Crunchy is definitely S tier. Crunchy are so good. They've got the same, shape as a Whisper Bar, but, they're not airy, and they've got a bit of a crunchiness to them, but they're so good. They're so good. They would definitely go in my S tier if they're British. I'm not sure if they're British. Don, Cambridge Chocolate's commercial, Girl Bunny. Oh, do you mean Cadbury's? The Cadbury's chocolate bunny. Yeah, everyone liked that bunny. Right, I better head off. I was not expecting the stream to go on for this long. I really wasn't. This is one of for 2 hours. I can't believe that. I was thinking just an hour, then we're done. Actually, almost 2.5 hours. This is one of the longest streams I've done in a while. This will definitely affect my schedule. I was kind of hoping to do a bit of work after this, but I think I'm just going to probably head to bed soon. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this stream. This is the first ever time I've done a live tier list. And it's pretty fun. I really enjoyed doing it live. It's very difficult to know what topics to go for when doing it live. Because the thing with tier lists is that you've got to know about the things you're talking about. And the problem of doing a live film tier list is that I'd have to watch a load of films in advance to do it. So it has to be a topic where I go into it and I know exactly how I feel about each thing. I'm lucky because I'm a huge candy fan. And I've tried nearly every candy. And if there's a new candy that comes out, I even try it out of curiosity. I have not seen the new My Little Pony movie, Don. Listy says that 20 minutes argue about crunchies. I think that extra hour was just crunchy debate. Leah, the way I describe Crunch Bars is like tasting cornflake cakes. It's like a cornflake cake. A cornflake cake meets a Whisper. But yeah, I better head off now. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all happy. Hope you're all smiling. Hope you all have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night.